New fastest man alive. Oblique Seville upstages Noah Lyles for 100-meter gold in Tokyo. Tokyo. Move over, Noah Lyles. There's a new fastest man on the planet. His name is Oblique Seville. The 24-year-old Jamaican powered over the top of Lyles and highly fancied compatriot Kishane Thompson in the men's 100-meter World Championship final on Sunday evening in Tokyo, posting a personal best 9.77 S2. At long last, capture his first major gold medal. It was exactly as predicted by athletics great and fellow countryman Usain Bolt, who enthusiastically cheered him on from the grandstands of the Japan National Stadium. Seville has long been one of the world's top sprinters, but has often let nerves get the better of him in major races, notably last year's Olympic final, in which he finished dead last despite having looked the class of the field through the semifinals. That worrying trend very nearly continued in Japan, when Seville almost missed out on a semifinal berth after appearing to be glued to the starting blocks in his heat run. He was able to turn last spot into third place by the finish line to advance, before taking out his semifinal earlier on Sunday evening in a time of 9.86 S, then dipping into uncharted territory in an enthralling medal race to vanquish those demons from the past. Seville's triumph gives Jamaica its first gold medal in a 100m major race since Bolt's 2016 Olympic title. Thompson claimed silver with a run of 9.82 S, ahead of Olympic champion Lyles. The American showman ran a season-best time of 9.89 S, but just didn't have enough to fight for the top step of the podium after having endured an injury-interrupted season and only beginning preparations for these championships 2 months ago. The women's 100-meter final was won by American Melissa Jefferson Wooden in a World Championship record time of 10.61 S, also the fourth fastest in history. The third-place finisher in the Olympic final last year drove through the highly credentialed field over the first 30m and extended her advantage all the way to the line, beating out Jamaica's Tina Clayton, 10.76 S, and St. Lucia's Julian Alfred, 10.84 S, who was unable to back up that triumph in Paris 12 months ago. Australia's emerging sprint star Tori Lewis, who on night one of the championships shaved 0.02 S off her own Australian record in the 100m with the 11.08 S, missed out on a place in the medal race, finishing fifth with a time of 11.14 S in her semifinal. Also on night 2, Jess Hull secured her passage to the final of the women's 1,500-meter. The Olympic silver medalist finished 0.01 S adrift of Kenya's Nelly Chepchirchir in a tardy second semifinal that saw pushing and shoving and a fall. The first semifinal was taken out by Kenya's Faith Kipyegon, the winner of the last 3 women's Olympic 1,500-meter titles and the favorite for gold in Tuesday evening's final. Like Hull, Reese Holder put in an impressive showing on the track on night 2, progressing to the semifinals of the men's 400-meter. The 23-year-old Australian led his heat for 380 meters before being overtaken in the dying stages by American Christopher Bailey. However, his time of 44.45 S, just 0.01 S shy of his personal best, was good enough to advance. The morning session was highlighted by a dramatic finish in the women's marathon. Kenya's Perez Jepchirchir won the event at a time of 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 43 seconds, just 2 seconds ahead of Ethiopia's Tigst Assefa. Vanessa Wilson was the best of the Australian contingent, finishing 38th. The men's marathon will be staged at 7:30 a.m. local time on Monday morning in what's expected to be equally challenging hot and humid conditions. Other gold medal winners on the second night of competition in Tokyo included American pair Valerie Allman and Tara Davis-Woodhall in the women's discus and long jump, respectively, as well as France's Jimmy Gressier, who prevailed by 0.06 S in a remarkable men's 10,000-meter final. Here's how Day 2 at the World Athletics Championships unfolded. Tokyo's Lightning. Oblique Seville claims the crown. At the edge of the starting block, the air hung heavy. Humidity like a blanket, expectation like static. Tokyo's blue sky had been baking the stadium all day. Tonight, every whispered forecast spoke of speed, of records, of legacy. In lane 7 stood Oblique Seville, lean and luminous, his eyes fixed ahead, fingers poised for the gun. Beside him, in lane 4 or 5, was Noah Lyles, occupying that rarefied air reserved for current champions, for those who have already proven they can seize gold when the world watches. Noah had brought to Tokyo more than medals, confidence, thunderous finishes in the lead-up, and the mantle of defending champion. But Seville, rising through rounds, had become the shadow just behind, drawing near, learning, compounding every win into a quiet crescendo. They say in sprinting, the race is decided in a fraction of a second. The guns crack, the reaction, the drive, the transition, the top speed, the lean. All of it. Every micro-motion matters. On this night, every millimeter would count. Act 1, the build-up. Seville's journey to this moment hadn't been without turmoil. Fourth-place finishes, near misses, moments of sharp disappointment. At Kingston, at Lausanne, in London. He had beaten Lyles, yes, but the gold in a world final still eluded him. Lyles, by contrast, had held gold before. The weight of the title on his shoulders was familiar. In London's Diamond League, Seville exploded from the blocks, ran 9.86 seconds, beating Lyles. Wikipedia, +3. Pulse Sports Nigeria, +3. YNCA, +3. In Lausanne, even rain could not stop him. 9.87 seconds in wet conditions, once again leaving the Olympic champ chasing. Wikipedia, +3. The Express Tribune, +3. ESPN.com, +3. Each time, Seville proved he could handle pressure. He could shine when conditions were far from perfect, that he could make starts that count. Lyles, though powerful, sometimes stumbled early, leaving openings. ESPN.com, +2. Rediff, +2. So Tokyo became not just an arena of competition, but a proving ground. Act 2, the final. When the final gun fired in the World Championships men's 100m in Tokyo on September 14, 2025, the race that followed was electric. Seville exploded forward, every muscle coiled in perfection. Kishane Thompson, his Jamaican teammate and the season's fastest man, pressed hard. Lyles, perhaps a little behind off the blocks, surged, eyes blazing, trying to claw back. But Seville held him. More. He passed. He pulled ahead, as if tethering lightning itself to his stride. With every powerful lunge, every drive out of the blocks, his confidence grew. In the final 10 meters, it was Seville, unyielding, unstoppable, who crossed first. 9.77 seconds, a personal best. And a moment. Seville, golden in the glow of the stadium lights, having finally broken through. Kishane Thompson earned silver in 9.82. Noah Lyles, despite a season-best 9.89, took bronze. Wikipedia, +3. Reuters, +3. Reuters, +3. This was monumental. Jamaica topped the world again in the 100m, this time with Seville wearing the crown. This was the first World 100m gold for Jamaica since the days of Usain Bolt. Bolt himself was watching. Reuters, +1. Act 3, Aftershocks. What does this mean for Seville? For Lyles? For the history books?